everyone, I'm Bridget with Potomac Beads. Join me today in creating these crystal tassel earrings. If you need to purchase any of these materials, they were listed at the beginning of the video, as well as down below beneath me in the description area. You'll find a list of materials with the links to both our PotomacBeads.com and our PotomacBeads.eu sites. So grab up your materials and come create with me. Alright, so to start this crystal tassel, I already have my eyepin here and I have my thread knotted on there. I'm using the KO beading thread here and I have it in gold. This is going to be a little thinner, so it'll give our tassel a little bit more flexibility and movement. So starting with that, and like I said, I already have that knotted on there, just a simple square knot, and I have my needle on the other end. And I'm going to pick up my disco ball, which this is going to kind of act as the anchor of the tassel. So that's where all the other kind of little legs of the tassel are going to be coming out of. So starting with that, and my length, since I'm using this tassel for earrings, I'm not going to have it be super long, so I'm using 20 of these rondelles that I'm just going to thread on here. And pull that down towards the disco ball. And if you wanted to kind of use this as a pendant, you can definitely add more rondelles or even the larger rondelles or rounds to kind of make it a larger tassel and more of a statement. So once you have kind of your desired length that you want in the rondelles, I have that, and then I'm going to go ahead and pick up a 15-0, and this is going to act as kind of my knot at the end of the tassel. So I'm going to go through now, skipping that 15-0, I'm going to go back through my rondelles up to the top. So just going back through. And once you get back to the top, go through that disco ball as well. And then just kind of holding that and pulling. And kind of get, there we go. And you don't want to pull it super tight. You do want the disco ball at the top, but you don't want to pull it as tight as you can get it, because like I said, you do kind of want that movement in these tassels. And since they are going to be pretty close together, you want a little bit of kind of leeway there for them. So you'll pull that. And so from there, I'm coming out of the disco ball. As you can see there, I'm just going to loop through the eye pin and then go back down just through the disco ball. Okay, so now we're there. And I'm going to go ahead and pick up 20 more of my rondelles to start on the second kind of little leg there. So once you have your 20, again, you'll kind of pull it down towards the disco ball, and you'll pick up 115, and skipping over that 15, going back up through the rondelles. And then up back through that disco ball at the very top as well. Oops. And then you'll go ahead and pull that. There we go, and I have a little bit of a loop there, so if that happens, just kind of loosen up the end and then pull up the 15. And then go ahead and pull that. There you go. And again, you don't want to pull it super tight because you do want to have it a little bit of a flexibility there. So here we are back at the top. And again, I'm just going to go loop through that eye pin there. And don't worry about these, the tail up here and any bit of the extra thread, because that'll end up getting covered up by our bead cap at the very end there. So again, go through the eye pin. And then back down through the disco ball. And we're ready to do our third little bit here. So again, adding those 20 rondelles. And what's nice about this is, since it is so simple, you really can just make it your own. You can make it into a really, I think it'd be a really fun kind of long necklace if you make the tassels a little longer there. You can do a multicolored and just do it a lot of different ways. If you have a bigger bead cap, you can make them thicker. So there's a lot of different ways you can use this idea and kind of make it your own. Okay, so let me see how many, I lost count there, so let me see how many I have here. So let me add 2 more, and then adding that 15. Okay, so again, skipping over that 15 and going back up through my rondelles. And then back up through that disco ball on the top, and then pulling those. And again, you might want to give it a little bit of a kind of straighten out there so that you're making sure to get all the thread pulled through. There we go. So you can kind of start seeing where we're going with it. I'm going to add a few more. I'll probably have about 10 kind of legs here for my tassel. So I'm going to go through again, just going through the eye pin and then back down through the disco ball, through your rondelles, picking up a 15, and then skipping over that 15 and going back up through your rondelles until you kind of have the amount of kind of legs you want for your tassel. Okay, so I just came up through my disco ball to finish up my tassel. So I have 9 of these little legs here. You can kind of see the movement and how that looks. So what I'm going to do to finish this off is just loop through that eye pin like you've been doing. And then I'm just going to tie a simple knot along my, oops, hold on. There we go. So going through that eye pin and just using the tail end from the beginning, just doing a simple knot with that. So just doing a little over, under, and under, over, knot there. And then a little tiny dab of super new glue just to kind of hold it in place, since there is a lot of thread kind of going through there. So just a little dab right on the end there. And then I'll be able to trim off the rest of that thread. And from there, I will add on my bead cap, and then I'll show you how to finish off the wire. So I'm just getting rid of this excess thread here. Okay. So from here, I'm going to put on my bead cap. And if you can see with this one, I am using a really small bead cap. So what I'm going to do is just using some pliers, I'm just going to squish that eye pin in a little bit, just so that my bead cap will fit a little nicer on there. If you're using a bigger bead cap, you probably don't have to worry about this. Or if you don't mind it kind of being off a little bit, then you definitely don't have to worry about that. But I'm just going to squeeze that in just a little bit, just so it's a little bit more tall than it is round. I'm putting my bead cap on there. And from there, using my round nose pliers, I'll make that tighter so it'll fit right on top of there. So from here, what you'll do is just pinch that, and using flat nose pliers, just do a 90-degree turn, and then flip your round nose pliers and pull the wire towards you, and then go up through, so you can see that, up through what will be your loop, and pulling your wire through, trying not to get it stuck on the tassel like I just did. So we'll have the loop there, and I'll just work around my wire to finish that off. If you need some help making the eyes, we do have videos. It is a little tricky until you get to learn it. Once you learn it, it's super easy and really simple, but it can be a little tricky for starters. So if you do want to kind of go back and look at our videos on kind of how to do that eye pin. So there we have that, and I'll just go ahead and trim off that excess wire. It's right at the bottom, and then I'll just flatten that out so that it goes right in. So there we have it. So we have the eye there, and like I said, with these, since I have the two, I'm going to make them into earrings. But if you do want to make a pendant, you can use either the larger rondelles or just make them longer. So instead of the 20, you could do 40 and kind of make that into a statement necklace there. So there we have them. There you go. Thank you for joining, and I hope you enjoyed making your own crystal tassels. Remember, if you need any of the products that we used today, you'll find a full list underneath me in the description area, as well as exact colors that were used and links to both PotomacBeads.com and PotomacBeads.eu. And remember, if you need a little bit of extra help with that little bit of wire part, you can check out the rest of our YouTube videos and get some practice on that and find some inspiration of your own. So as always, we'd love to hear from you. I'd love to see how you made your own tassels, if you kept them as earrings or made them into pendants, what colors you used, what you're going to use them for. We'd love to hear from you. So until next time, have fun and happy beading.